So Joe Biden has gone full authoritarian with his shot mandate, and some of us, we not having it. So just the other day, Joe Biden announced his new vaccine mandate, and this could not have come at a worse possible time. Joe Biden, he is not a very, he's not a very wise man, and I believe it's his dementia really kicking in, because in the month of August, we already had a horrible jobs report where we added much less jobs to the market than economists predicted, according to the Labor Department. We added, I believe, 500,000 less than what they were hoping for. We already had that issue. How do you think it's gonna go where we now have this mandate where employees and employers, all federal employees and many private sector employers and employees are now gonna be forced to have to participate in this ridiculous mandate, which is probably unconstitutional. I don't even think that this is gonna hold. We will see moving forward, because I don't think he's gonna be able to enforce this blatant authoritarian act. I'm sure there's gonna be people quitting their jobs or even getting fired over this mandate. So I don't see how that's gonna actually help us when it comes to adding more jobs to the market. The potential economic damage of this mandate is being largely ignored, and I know leftists, they don't really care about that sort of thing, which is why I have my own personal rule, which I do not take financial advice from leftists, because they really don't know what they're talking about. But what was also very disturbing to me about Joe Biden's mandate speech was his demonization of the unvaccinated people. And we have seen some of these Hollywood celebrities on social media talking crazy, some of them on live television, disparaging unvaccinated people as if they're some type of war criminal.
Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated, even though the vaccine is safe, effective, and free. While the vaccines provide strong protection for the vaccinated, we read about and hear about and we see the stories of hospitalized people on their deathbeds among the unvaccinated over the past few weeks. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with, the people you care about, the people you love. My job as president is to protect all Americans. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week. What more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine has FDA approval. Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
And as always, I'm not making any medical claims. Always consult with your physician. I am not a medical expert. Consult with them, not me. And I spoke about this possibly happening when I covered a story back in early July where the former head of Planned Parenthood, Lena Wynn, was talking about how we must make life difficult for those that are unvaccinated. So they're trying to either force you or strongly encourage you to go ahead and vax up, whether you want to or not, whether you're ready or not. I don't like being threatened personally, even if the threat doesn't apply to me. I just don't like the idea of being threatened to do something against my own free will or the free will of others, because you know how the left likes to talk about that my body, my choice, only when it suits them. But to give you all a bit more details and take a look at some of the thoughts of people on social media, mostly people on the right, as far as how they feel about this new mandate speech and what he intends to force on to the people. Social media erupted Thursday following President Joe Biden's announcement that he will be mandating vaccination, testing, and mask requirements for not just federal employees, but many private businesses too. Companies with at least 100 employees must require their employees get vaccinated or submit to weekly COVID-19 tests under a new Biden administration plan to combat the coronavirus and encourage vaccination. The Daily Wire reported President Joe Biden is scheduled to outline a revamped federal strategy to address COVID-19 that includes far more invasive regulations and restrictions than the federal government has put in place to date. Part of Biden's 6-point plan involves cracking down on 100-plus employee companies to push their employees to get vaccinated against COVID-19. According to the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. Labor Department plans to issue an emergency temporary standard in a matter of weeks, implementing the new requirement, which will cover 80 million private sector workers. Businesses that don't comply can face fines up to $14,000 per violation. So they are really forcing the hand, really twisting the arms of these businesses. That's what they're going to be doing coming up very shortly. As soon as they can implement this threat, because it is a threat. I'm taking this as a threat. The backlash online was immediate. Daily Wire co-founder and CEO Jeremy Boring took to Twitter to say that he would not comply with President Biden's dictates. The Daily Wire has well over 100 employees. We will not enforce Joe Biden's unconstitutional and tyrannical vaccine mandate. We will use every tool at our disposal, including legal action, to resist this overreach. More to come. The Real Daily Wire. The Blaze CEO echoed, yeah, I sure as shit won't be enforcing a vaccine mandate. So we have people on the right speaking out against this, calling it unconstitutional. We have some representatives speaking out against this as well, calling it a threat as well, which I agree. We have David Rubin, who stated Biden is every horrible thing that they imagine Trump to be. Yes. See, the left, for some odd reason, when they say that they are against fascism, they only are referring to a fascist right. A fascist right is the only thing they are referring to. But they have no problem with a fascist left. They have no problem with fascism if they're pushing things that they agree with, which shows that they actually don't have a problem with fascism at all. They don't have a problem with it. They don't have a problem with any sort of authoritarianism. They have no problem with it if it is what they believe, if it is what they want to force on to people. So Donald Trump Jr. stated, where's all the oppressive, totalitarian dictator talk? We heard it for 5 years for everything and anything Trump said, but the press and the left is strangely silent when there's actually totalitarianism happening. I totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. This is ridiculous and unenforceable. Governor Mike Dunleavy, if there was ever a case for the 25th Amendment, we need to get somebody else to act on the president's behalf, because mentally, he ain't there mentally. He is not there mentally. Daily Wire podcast host and author Matt Walsh asserted Biden does not have the power to do what he is doing. He is not king. He is a politician, and this is still the United States of America. He must be defied. All Americans who care about freedom should tell this decaying old tyrant to go to hell. Libertarian Eric July, shout out to Young Ripper. Salute to him. That's his YouTube channel. Yes, this is a hill worth dying on. I agree, because they're going too far with this. 2 weeks to slow the spread is now give us your 2 weeks notice, remarked popular Twitter account Comfortably Smug. Journalist Tim Pool, shout out to Tim Pool, bluntly stated, "I will not comply." And before this video ends, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And thank you to our sponsor, A-Game, the all-natural herbal male solution that promotes strength, energy, vitality, and libido. I take this myself on a regular basis. Highly recommended.
This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
But I am curious what you guys think about this whole thing.